CEI, welcome back to the stream. Today we have College of Eastern Idaho versus Union College Owls in League of Legends in the NJC AAE League. I'm joined by my co-host Cameron.
What's up?
And right now we are just waiting for, I think, picks and bans to come through, and then we'll be getting into the game. Now, walk me through this because this does seem very slow paced, as if they are waiting for something to start. So are they or are they not?
Yeah, so at the beginning of a game, there's a grace period. Minions and nothing really spawns on the map until a minute 30. And that is when the game starts. So at a minute, everybody kind of positions, places what's called wards, which gives you vision so you can see into the map. And that's what allows people to know where other people are at. So if we look here on the map right here, that is a ward, and that is how you're able to see into the vision. And
then we have a comment. We have a comment from Red Comet. Who is a busted character right now?
Who's a busted character?
Yes.
I would say Aurelion Sol. He just got the most recent patch, and he's a super scaling champion. So if he's able to perform, he's kind of crazy right now. And as we get into the game, we can kind of see that the top laners are already off to a little bit of poke. Oh, and I should probably explain. So in League of Legends, there are these things called minion waves, which you can see is being farmed in the top lane and in the middle lane. And so that is how the players will get gold. The minions, when they are killed, they will drop gold and XP, which level up and make the champions more powerful. And this is kind of an interesting game because CLOL is a very strong early game champion. He's able to do lots of damage. CLOL is the player for CEI. Miss Engineer is CLOL, if you're confused. He's a very strong early game champ. So Fiora is doing a really good job of playing the minions towards him, leveling up first, so that he's able to keep the pressure, so that CLOL isn't able to take advantage of his early game. Both mid laners are both super heavy scalers, so it'll be a tough matchup between there. It'll be a lot of just chill farming, I feel like. Just collecting CS, slowly getting stronger. And bot lane has, once again, Kaisa. She is a fairly weak ADC at the very beginning, but Pantheon's really strong, so they might look for an all-in. And the most important levels to watch out for are 3, 6, 11, and 16. That is when the champions earn the highest power spikes in the game.
So in order for CEI to gain the advantage at the beginning, what do they have to start with? What do they have to get going for them first?
So the thing they need to focus on is their CS mainly, making sure that they're able to get the most amount of gold possible so that they can get their items the fastest. Another thing is lane pressure. If they're able to deal high amounts of damage to the opponent in lane and push them into an awkward situation, that's another big thing. And then the last thing that CEI can do when there's an early gank coming out from CEI, it's not quite able to pay off. But it did make Fiora use her Ghost, which I was about to comment. The biggest thing is Summoner Spells. Summoner Spells have the longest cooldowns in the game, and they're like the most important things. And so being able to force opponents to use their Summoner Spells very early makes it easier for the jungler to gank or for a lane to win if there's not as many Summoner Spells. They looked like Diana wanted to get a gank, but she wasn't able to pull it off.
And just for the CEI viewers, right now the stream is in a 3-minute delay. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain that other than what you're seeing, what you're hearing right now happened about 3 minutes ago. So sorry if we're a little late to getting into your comments or getting to the comments in the chat. But, so explain to me right now, is it very neutral still in the game, or?
I would say so. It's very neutral. As you can see in the mid laner, this Vigar is behind 10 CS, and the bot lane is behind by 30 CS, which is not very favorable because that means less gold, less XP. They're going to be a little bit behind, but if they're able to get a gank or keep getting the CS and put the power on, then they should still be able to come back in the game. But it is an early sign that they can fall behind quite early. There's also yet to be a kill on the map, which is very impressive to me because in my lobbies, there's always like 10 kills by 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very impressive to me that they're all playing very relaxed and safe, which is kind of what I was expecting them to do. Playing safe, playing under tower, not putting out too much.
So I saw in the lobby, the ranks were slightly different, a slight gap, so to speak.
Yeah.
So what would CEI have to do to bring that back? Is what they're doing right now what they need to, or is there any bizarre or out there plays that they would need to make?
So what I would say is they do have higher ranked players on the enemy team, and so what I would do is I would try to what is called feeding the most highest ranked player on our team. Oh, and that's a summoner spell. That's a flash from Vigard, so he won't be able to escape a potential gank in the future, which is really good by CEI. Back to your question. Bro, I'm blanking so hard. What did you say? Say that again.
The rank difference.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I would say you would have to either feed one lane so that they can hyper carry throughout the game, or I would target one player on the enemy team and make them so that it's very hard for them to come back in the game or have a potential of even putting out pressure throughout the game. So shutting them down early is probably the best bet, which we haven't really seen yet, but it's still quite early. 6 minutes is still quite early in a game.
And how long would games normally go for?
So if there is a hyper carry, normally games last like 25-30 minutes. I've seen games last 15 minutes where the team just ends at 15 minutes. But I would probably say if it's a really good game, 30-40 minutes is what you need.
1 second, folks. Sorry about that. Alright, sorry about that, folks. We had to get the audio adjusted just slightly, and now we are back.
And while we were gone, we ended up seeing 2 kills come out to the Victor, which I think is CEI's plan of getting a hyper carry. 2 kills on Victor is a huge lead, as he's able to get the spellbook, which puts him at a big advantage, as that's one of the first power spikes in the game. And being 2 kills ahead is quite big for a mid laner. And it looks like CEI is going to be able to take the first Drake, which is quite a good thing, as it'll give them stats, and it'll also set them ahead for the future, as they could get Soul, which Soul is when you get 4 dragons in a row. It gives your team an extra big buff, like shields, damage, stuff like that. So as of right now, it looks like bot lane is falling a little bit short, as they are 40 CS behind. If you're wondering, CS stands for creep score, which just means that's how many minions you've killed, etc., stuff like that.
And then we had a question come out in the chat. What's a gank, if you had to explain?
Oh, so a gank is when the jungler, which is Vi, the girl with the pink hair, or Diana with the moon on her forehead, that is when the junglers go into a lane and they try to eliminate the person in the lane. That's what a gank is called.
Oh, so it's essentially like double teaming somebody.
Yes.
All right.
The bot lane is doing a really good job of controlling the vision, making sure that the junglers aren't able to come down. As you can see, the Pantheon is doing a really good job of clearing. That's another missed gank by the Vi, putting the pressure on the Vigard, making him scared to potentially push this Victor, setting the Victor ahead. And it looks like CEI is setting up for a Rift Herald. As you can see, there's 3 CEI members on that top lane. And that looks like that might be an elimination for Victor. There's 2 ults used, and it looks like Jedi Ninjas will get the first kill. And it looks like the Vi, the Overlord, will get another kill on CEI, which is super huge for them, as they're able to get the Rift Herald, which they can put in a lane to get that lane even more ahead than they probably already are. And if you didn't know, the Rift Herald is a giant insect bug looking thing that will stomp into a lane and it'll break the tower And the more towers you kill, the more gold you get, the more pressure you put in a lane, etc. So it's a very valuable item, and they did get it, which is a huge step for CEI.
And right now, I'm getting a little bit of hype hearing from the boys. What is that for? Besides just getting 4, they have 4 kills on the board, right?
Yes.
And what is the hype that I'm hearing? If you can explain that for us.
Well, we are a little bit behind, so the hype we're hearing we probably haven't seen yet. But the hype is probably that they're able to shut down one of the higher players on the team, and that they're able to get ahead and push lanes in and get more kills, sending their team ahead. People get hyped about kills, so I'm assuming that's what it's about.
Oh yes, I forget that we are also behind, just spectating, and then there's also a stream delay.
Yeah. League is very cautious when it comes to spectators, I guess. So it looks like CEI is doing a really good job of keeping their mid laner and their top laner ahead so that they can do better in the future. The bot lane is just playing safe, making sure that the bot lane isn't able to stay ahead, because bot lane right now is probably the most influential role as they do the most amount of damage. So if that ADC is able to get more kills, then that means they can put more influence around the map. So shutting them down like they are is super good. Even if the bot lane is losing a lot of CS and is falling behind a little bit, it's influential on CEI side.
And then for those of us, including myself, who don't understand how you end up winning this game, will you explain that for us, just so we know what CEI has to do in order to take this first game?
So, oh my goodness, sorry, 1 second. That is a really good gank coming out from Artesian as he gets the mid laner. And it looks like they're going to be able to shut down. And it looks like, oh man, all of the whiffs coming out on the side of Union right there. But as you saw, they were able to release this scuttle, bringing the mid laner tower down to just 1 small little bit of HP. But back to your question. So basically, what either team has to do is they have to get through... So there's 3 tiers of towers. The tier 1 tower is the one you see the players at the most. The tier 2 towers are the ones that are further back. Tier 3 are the ones that are in this kind of rocky area. Those are tier 3 towers. And once you get through all of the tier 3 towers, you can destroy an inhibitor. And then once you break an inhibitor, you can destroy the larger inhibitor, which when you destroy that, the game ends. That's how you win. So yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to push through lanes, you want to take out the towers so that you're able to win the game. And as we're saying that, this is a big push coming out from CEI. The Rakan ult, keeping the pressure. Victor's using all of his abilities. He gets 2 stuns, and they're able to shut down. Oh, the shutdown goes to the Vigar, which is kind of sad. But they're able to get multiple kills, and it looks like they're able to shut down the bot lane and the jungler on the enemy team, which is very big for CEI. The jungler won't be able to make any influence on the map, and that's 4 kills for CEI, which I'm assuming was the hype that we were hearing from earlier. But that is a very big deal, as it sets 4 people on the enemy team behind, putting CEI ahead even more. And there's a little bit of a brawl coming out from CEI right now, and that's kind of an issue for Kled, but he's able to get his Scarl back. Ooh, quite close. He used his ulti. Fiora does have a lot of sustain though, which is kind of scary for CEI. And Pantheon did ult, which might be the end, and that is the end for Miss Engineer.
And then I just saw someone coming across this, the screen that red team got the dragon.
Yes, so that is once again the objectives, the dragons. The dragons give special buffs, and it looks like this game will be a Chemtech Soul, if I'm not mistaken. And Chemtech is a type of dragon. There's multiple types of dragons in the game. They add special buffs. But Chemtech is one of the dragons, and when you get Soul, you get their special dragon buff. And Chemtech gives you shield and healing, I believe. So each of the teams on CEI, if they already get that Soul, they would get a shield and extra healing, which is really good for CEI.
And then right now, it looks like CEI is in a slight advantage, at least from what I'm able to tell. Is that something that's going to stay consistent, or is it going to...
That is what we hope, William. That is what we hope. So as we see at the top there, it says that Union is at 23.2k gold, and CEI is at 25.9k. And so the biggest thing right now is to keep that gold advantage ahead. And Jedi Ninja's doing a really good job of shutting down this bot lane, getting himself ahead, becoming the hyper carry, And he might get a second kill there, but it doesn't look like it, as Kai'Sa's going to run to the tower. But, yeah, CEI is doing a really good job of getting ahead. They have 2 carries going on right now. But they do need to be careful about getting the shutdown, because when they get shut down, that gold that is above their names will go to the enemy team, which is a not great thing, as they're able to use that to come back and get ahead in the game. But if CEI plays this right, they're able to extend this gold lead, and they should just gradually take over the game, which is what we'd hope for.
And then it sounds like League, if I'm not mistaken, is all about starting to get that ball rolling, getting that advantage. So if CEI keeps this continuous slight advantage, will that eventually snowball into them just like sweeping through? And
oh yes, 100%. So the snowball effect is already happening, as you can see, as CEI is about 3.5k gold ahead right now, and it looks like there's a good gank coming out from Artesian, as he's able to shut down the Pantheon on the enemy team.
I just want to take a second. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you coming out and showing your support for CEI. Those of you just joining us, this is CEI versus Union College Owls in League of Legends in the NJCAA League. Right now, this is match 1 or game 1.
Yeah.
CEI is in a slight advantage. Hopefully, they will be able to keep that going. Right now, we have a fight coming up.
Yeah, this is a big brawl around the scuttle, around the Rift Herald, and it looks like the Union College must have gotten the Rift Herald, but Jedi Ninjas is able to shut down the enemy team, and it looks like they're getting dove on by the Pantheon ult, which isn't going to pay off for the Pantheon, as they just keep feeding this Victor mid, which is very huge for them.
And somebody in the chat just mentioned that we are in total 8 minutes behind, so sorry if it takes us a second to get to your comments and chats, but that is the reason for it. Right now, CEI seems to be playing a very dominant game.
Also, I do want to say sorry. I've been saying Artesian, but I've been notified that is actually Artanis. Artanis. So I will pronounce that properly better in the future. But CEI, once again, doing a really good job of shutting down the enemy team. Even if they're not feeding their bot lane, they're doing a really good job of shutting down the enemy bot lane and feeding this mid laner, this Victor, getting him super far ahead. And Victor is one of those champions that once he gets the ball rolling, he just deals a ton of damage, and you can't really stop him. Right now, we're back in kind of a neutral area where there's no real objectives up at the moment, so teams will just focus on CSing, gaining gold, and focusing on that vision. And as we can see, the Union College is taking really good advantage of the vision on the top side of the field. As you can see, tons of wards throughout the jungle, making sure that their top laner is less susceptible to getting ganked. And CEI is doing a really good job of shutting down the bot side vision. And there's another brawl coming out top, and another brawl coming out mid lane. And Jedi Ninjas is able to keep getting kills and staying in the game. There's so many brawls going around the map right now. Artanis is doing a really good job of shutting down, getting himself further and further ahead. The Kled getting out of the fight, because it doesn't look like he was going to win that. But CEI has taken the Chemtech Drake, which will put them at 3 dragons, which is get them one step closer to getting that Chemtech Soul, which would put them even further ahead. So this, as you can see, the snowball effect is happening. It looks like CEI is 8k gold ahead, which is a pretty massive and substantial lead for CEI.
And then explain to me, what is the importance of being ahead in gold?
So as we said at the beginning, having gold allows the players to have more items. So more gold on a team means that they have more items, they are stronger, they have more levels. So the gold is really what to watch out for. That's a good scale of how far a team is ahead. So being 8k gold ahead is a pretty substantial lead. Once you get to like 8k to 10k, it's really hard to come back from a gold lead that's that massive, I would say. And Jedi Ninja is getting grouped on in the bot lane. It looks like he might go down here. He's running away using his ghost, but he does get shut down by the Fiora, which is not really where you want the gold to go, because Fiora is a very snowbally champ, and they keep fighting the Vi ult and the Pantheon ult coming down to the bot lane, and they do get the shutdown of both the Victor and the Vi, which is not what we want to see. As we talked about earlier, The gold does go right into the pockets of Union College, which is lessens the snowball effect, which is not what we want to see. As we saw, the 8K lead is now down to a 4K lead, so something that small can affect the snowball effect. And it looks like Union College is going to try to get the Baron here, and so Baron allows the minion waves in each lane to become stronger and harder to hit, and it allows them to deal a ton more damage. So if they are able to get this uncontested, it looks like, then it's going to be a big challenge for CEI to be able to push lanes and to keep that gold lead. Looks like they did get it, which is not the best, but it looks like CEI is trying to set up for Drake rather than Baron, because if they get the next dragon, then they will get Soul, which puts them ahead more. I would say a Soul is more important than a Baron buff.
So right now we're seeing that they are now pretty even in gold. What would CEI have to do to keep this in their favor?
It's definitely about getting the shutdown. You gotta shut down the high damage players on the enemy team, so that would be the Fiora, the Veigar, the Kaisa. Once you get those players shut down, then there's a high chance that you'll be able to come back. So it's just making sure that you're keeping those players safe, making sure they're able to stay ahead. And it looks like Jedi Ninjas might fall here, and same thing with Miss Engineer, but there's a gank coming up from how would I pronounce it?
Artanis.
Artanis, sorry. I have this bad habit that I formed. Artanis doing a really good job of saving the Kled and keeping himself ahead. And doing a really good job. Oh, so close. Let's see if he's able to get it. One more auto. And oh, the Pantheon is invulnerability, and Miss Engineer is able to get that kill. Fiora is a champion that is really good at what's called backdooring, which is where you push in a lane by yourself and try to get in far into his lane as you can. And as you saw there, Fiora pushed all the way up to that tier 2 tower, putting a lot of pressure on CEI, but they're able to recover from it. Once again, oh sorry, I'll let you go.
Well, right now I'm just trying to, I guess, try to understand what's going on. It looks like CEI is still still keeping the lead. Are they taking out the towers that you mentioned before, or?
Yeah. So in the top lane, it looks like they actually just got a tower in the top lane, and earlier in the game they did get the mid lane tower. So they're doing a really good job of making sure that the lanes are being pushed forward, the minions are on the enemy side, so that the lane pressure is on the Union College rather than themselves. The one lane I am quite worried about is the bot lane, because the Fiora is in the bot lane trying to push that bot lane forward, putting the pressure on CEI, so they won't be able to contest the dragon. But so far it hasn't really put any real pressure on CEI.
So if you had to guess, is CEI still very much in the lead for winning this here soon, or is it going to be a more drawn out game than we were expecting it to be now that they started to catch up in gold?
Oh, with this fight here, this might be one of the game-winning fights, and they're able to shut down the Fiora, which is very big, and they might be able to shut down this Veigar, which they do.
Oh my goodness.
So this is going to be one of the game-winning fights, I would probably say. This is one of the most game-influential fights, because this is, I think 30 seconds. Yeah, it's going to be 10 seconds right before the dragon. So this dragon's coming in, and they did lose their jungler and their top lane, which is one of their most damaging players on their team. So this might just be a free dragon and a soul for CEI, which is going to keep pushing the snowball. But if they're able to get this soul, then yes, I would say that they're very far ahead, and they are able to maintain the lead. And they did, which is Chemtech soul for CEI, which is a huge advantage for them.
And then somebody in the chat mentioned that Chemtech is the weakest.
I could be wrong. I know that in the old patches it used to be the strongest soul, so I could be thinking about that. But either way, a soul is still very important, as it gives the players buffs.
And right now CEI is starting to get their lead back that they had gold wise. Hopefully that will be able to stay consistent.
The boys are screaming, so I'm assuming that means good things, but we are a little bit behind, so we will keep commentating
to see how it ends. But from what we're seeing over there right now,
yeah, So we can hurry and finish this game. A little bit of spoilers because the boys were screaming, but
So, walk us through how what they're doing right now is going to lead them to winning.
so what they're doing is they're just putting the pressure in the lanes, making sure that the minion waves are crashing into the tower so that they can push more and more pressure onto the inhibitors in the middle, and eventually the end of the game. Oh, that's a really good ult from Kai, so they're able to get the kill onto that Jinx. And it looks like they're having, the Union Collins is having a decently good push through the middle. They're trying one last effort to get as much pressure as they can, trying to get the pressure off themselves. And they do get the tower, which is a lot of gold for Union College. But it looks like CEI is just maintaining the wave pressure, keeping themselves sustained. And this is going to be another standstill where an objective is coming up, so you're going to see teams placing wards, kind of having this awkward poke battles, you would say, of dealing a little bit of damage until one team decides that they want to all in and try to get a major advantage off of a team fight. And that's a huge fight coming out from Artisan, as I'm trying to fix my pronunciation. And they're diving the tower, getting all of the kills. Good pop-up from Easy Breeze as he's able to stun the enemy team. And that's a huge push coming out from CEI. This might be the chance just to run it down mid, as their Fiora is just in the bottom lane, letting them push through this mid tower. And Vigar is trying to stand a chance, is able to stun most of CEI, but it looks like he's not going to be able to finish them off. And they're going to take the tower and the inhibitor. And this might just be the chance for them to run it down middle and just end the game. The Fiora is still just pushing the bot lane, which is not very good. She's leaving her base wide open. And it looks like CEI is just going to be able to run through this game. They're going to try to stop them at the last second, but it's not going to be anything at all. And that is the first game for CEI.
Alright, folks, we are back. Just getting the game started. I think we're in the grace period right now. Cameron, why don't you talk us through what's happened so far during the break?
Alright, so kind of just to recap last game. CEI did a really good job of playing patient, waiting for the enemy team to make mistakes, and they capitalized on those mistakes, and they were able to get a hyper carry in the mid lane and the jungler, and they were able to snowball the game, just winning it overall. Doing a really good job of getting the picks, keeping people ahead. And while we were away, we were able to go through another ban pick phase, and we were able to pick a new array of champs. As you can see on the CEI side, we have Aatrox in the top lane, Warwick as jungle, Aurelia mid, and then the same Jhin Rakan bot lane. And then on the enemy side, they have Fiora top, Volibear as the jungle, Rumble as their mid laner, and then Jinx and Tahm as their bot lane. So I would probably say try to do the same thing as they did last game, where they just play patient, wait for the enemy team to make mistakes. They did pick a very gank heavy jungler, Warwick. He's really good at going for ganks, hunting down players, getting ahead early. So that'll be a vital thing for them. And then Aatrox is a scaling champion. He gets increasingly more powerful as the game goes on. So what I would say is I would try to get the top laner and mid laner ahead like they did last game. Aurelia is really good into tanks like Volibear and Fiora, as she's able to sustain in fights for a super long time, do high amounts of damage, stuff like that. As we're in this game, we can see that there's a little bit of a brawl top lane. Fiora did hit level 2 first. She's able to parry, and Aatrox did miss a couple Qs, able to heal, and he had to expend his flash to get away, which is not that great for an Aatrox, but hopefully he's able to recover. Mid lane, Aurelia is doing a really good job keeping the pressure, keeping her Qs. She's keeping her stacks. Used flash and ignite, didn't get the kill though, but pushed Rumble out of the lane. And it looks like bot lane's trying to collapse this wave onto bot lane, keeping the pressure.
So what would CEI have to do differently, or even just keep the same? Would they keep the same play style? Or I know there was some bans for certain characters that were not that good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so as we just saw, we did get first blood. Jedi was able to get the first blood in mid lane, which is really good as he's able to sustain the lead as he did in the last game. And the bans that they saw were bans against the champions that they played in the last game, which really isn't that great to do because most players have a range of champs that they can play. So that's the main thing, is these players are good enough that they'll have multiple players that they feel comfortable on. Like Jedi in the mid lane, he played Victor last game, so they banned the Victor and he was able to play Aurelia, which is really good into this team. A little bit of back and forth. And
well, it seems like we have the ninjas pulling up in chat. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming out and supporting CEI. I believe we have some fans of Jedi Ninjas, our mid laner for CEI, but that's always good to see. So it seems like the game's still pretty even. When does the game typically pick up pace?
I would say it probably picks up pace around level 6. That is when the champions will unlock their ultimates, and that's when more fights will brawl out. People will try to get ahead. So that's the biggest thing to look out for. So as of right now, we're kind of just in the middle stages where we're looking for pokes, looking for early kills, which Jedi was able to get in the mid lane. But that's what we're waiting for, and it looks like there's going to be a gank onto the mid laner Rumble, but there's going to be a counter gank from the Volibear. Big brawl coming out, able to get the fear onto the Rumble, and it looks like he's going to go down, but Jedi, not able to get the counter kill, which is sad to see on the CEI side. But that was a really good counter gank by the Volibear, ready to be there to protect their mid laner. A little bit of poke going on in the bot lane. Looking for pressure, trying to not allow them to get CS. Looking back to the mid, and Jedi is actually able to sustain that kill. Really good job of using his abilities to his advantage.
So yeah, we need vision in this first book, by the way. We're gonna have to have permanent vision in there.
Alright, so this game seems to be already more in favor of, at least gold-wise from what I'm seeing, of Union Owls. So what is CEI going to have to do to bring that back?
I would say that the early lead is probably just a CS lead, as we see in the bot lane once again. CEI is down in CS, which is looking like 20 CS, and the top lane about 20 CS, which is probably where the gold is coming from. So it's just about sustaining the gold, making sure that they're able to keep that CS going, getting their items, getting their gold, getting their XP, which will just scale as the game goes on. It looks like Aatrox is going to use his ability. I thought he used his ultimate, so that's what I was going to say, but it didn't look like he used his ultimate actually. Once again, he's doing a really good job of freezing the wave, making sure the Fiora has to stay on his side.
And for those of you just joining, first of all, thank you for tuning in. This is CEI Falcons versus Union College Owls. Right now, the game is 1-0 in favor of CEI. I think it's a best of 3. We're playing in the NJC AAE League. Again, thank you for all coming, showing your support. Right now, this is game 2, and we're 6 minutes and 30 seconds in, and it looks like it's fairly even, at least from my knowledge.
Yeah, it's very even. This dragon is actually going to be a pretty big deal as they're able to get the first Drake, which is going to give them a little bit of gold, catch them up a little bit. Just a little bit of stagnant play, looking for Ward's vision, trying to make sure that they're able to look for the enemy.
So explain to me, someone who understands very little about League, the importance of CEI seems to be going for those dragons while Union College goes for other things. What is the importance of going for it?
So dragons are kind of just a very snowball scale way of playing the game. If you're able to get objectives, that kind of gives you like a what's a good way of doing it? Like a plan B almost. It gives them kind of like an extra way of scaling. So not getting an objective or not even contesting for it is kind of not the right way to play it. It's always worth trying to contest or look at contesting for dragons and other objectives. It looks like Fiora is going to be able to stun the Aatrox, making him use his flash. He's going to wait. Oh, Fiora getting the poke in the heels, and it looks like he might get the trade, and he does. Misengineer, while he was at the disadvantage, was able to get the trade out of it, which makes it worth for the Aatrox. A little bit of in between, gets the stun, but there will be a gank from Volibear in the mid lane, and there will be a fight in the bot lane too. Jedi able to sustain just a little bit. Volibear looking for the gank, but he's not able to get it. That's a really good job staying alive by Jedi. And once again, the bot lane still a little stagnant. They want to play safe. They don't want this bot lane to get ahead. And Artisan is able to stay in the game. He might be able to get this kill on the... Oh, he does get the kill on the Volibear, which is huge because the Rift Herald is up, which might mean a free Rift Herald for Artisan. But it looks like there's going to be 2 people roaming, trying to get the kill on this Artisan. And it looks like they're going to get it, which is sad to see on the side of CEI.
It is Artanis, by the way.
Artanis? I'm still saying it wrong?
You're saying Artisan still. Artanis.
I will say it right one of these days, I swear.
One of these days. Next week, for sure.
Yeah, I'll just have to like write it down 1,000 times, so I'll just retain the knowledge.
As Ferris had commented previously, you gotta put respect on the name. Alright.
I do need to respect the name, and as we say that, it looks like they're able to get kills into the bot lane, using his flash to keep the Tahm Kench in the fight. Oh, and it looks like he might be able to use his W to get away, which he does, which is sad to see because that could have been a very good advantage for CEI in the bot lane. Top lane is looking like a really good skill matchup. Aatrox, ooh, that was close. If he would have been able to get another Q, that would have been or a higher chance of getting a kill for that Aatrox.
So right about now, do you think CEI is starting to get that snowball in effect, get them closer to the victory?
I would say that they definitely are. They are playing more for objectives. They're getting the wards up where they towards the Rift Herald and the Dragon, making sure that they're able to keep that snowball. And they're making sure that Jedi is staying ahead, which is kind of where I think they're focusing most of their powers, putting it on Jedi, making sure that he's able to play comfortably. And when he's able to play comfortably, it's looking like a big win. It looks like there might be a gank middle, but it looks like he's going to back off and look for the Rift Herald. As there's going to be a counter gank mid. Rumble used the ultimate, trying to look for it. Oh, and that's an ultimate from the Aurelia. He's able to get the kill onto the Rumble. That's an ultimate from the Volibear. There was so many ultimates used in the mid lane. And Volibear is able to get the shutdown on the Aurelia, which will put the Volibear a little bit ahead.
So are they using the same playstyle as they did last game? Or do you see anything different from what they're doing?
I would say that CEI is trying to keep the same playstyle, but I can see from Union that they're definitely trying to look for objectives a little bit more. You can kind of see that they're placing more wards towards objectives. They're prepping for a dragon right now while they're leaving Artanis.
You literally said it the same way.
Artanis.
Artanis.
I keep reversing the tan and the...
Put respect on his name, man. Come on.
I'm trying to put respect on the name. But it looks like they are playing a little bit more aggressive than last time, because at 6 minutes of last game, there were 0 kills, and we're at 11 minutes, and there's 10 kills, which is a lot more of an aggressive game. And it looks like there's going to be a fight at the Dragon. There are 3-4 members at the Dragon on both sides right now. There it is. There's the POV. And Rumble is going to initiate the fight. So is Tahm Kench. They're going to try to get the jungler, as that means no dragon. Tahm Kench is going to eat him up, trying to spit him up into his team, get the kill. But it looks like Jedi is going to be able to sustain. Barely staying alive. Jin using the ultimate, keeping the team from backing off. Easy breeze, making a Jedi feel a little bit safer. And that's a big stun coming out from Jedi. He's able to stay alive, but he does get killed by the Fiora right there. Easy breeze doing a really good job of keeping his team alive. And it looks like this might just be a stagnant. Oh, but Easy breeze with the pop-up and giving Shakekeeper the kill, which is a lot better than last game, because if we looked at last game, bot lane wasn't that influential, but this game the bot lane is actually looking like the carry. He has 4 kills right now, and the enemy team is 0-2. So that's a big bot lead coming out from CEI.
That was crazy. I don't understand. Like, explain to me how Jedi Ninjas was so low yet was still able to do so much.
Oh, so he actually has this item called Blade of the Rune King, or Bork. And it looks like there's going to be a fight on Dragon, so that might have to wait just a second. And CEI is able to get the Drake. Easy breeze with the stopwatch, able to stay alive right now, keeping the team alive. Volley keeping himself alive with his shields. Shadekeeper keeping the pressure on the Jinx, and it looks like that's going to be another kill
Oh
for
my goodness.
Jedi. And Jedi's going for another one, using his Q to catch up to the Rumble. Using
Oh
his
my
W to
goodness.
stay alive.
Holy. You know what? I don't understand. How is it that they go in with so little health? Explain to me that. explain that to me right there.
So Aurelia has this item called Blade of the Rune King, which I was explaining earlier before Jedi absolutely popped off. So Blade of the Rune King gives percentage health back. So as you deal damage, you heal. So when he's able to deal a lot of damage, he heals for a percentage of that. So he's able to sustain himself as well. Aurelia also has an ability, the W, which gives you shield. So when you're inside of it, you don't take as much damage, which once again allows for heal. And then Warwick is the same way. Warwick is the jungle wolf looking guy. He has the same thing where as he deals damage, he also heals. So it's just a battle of sustain. Yeah, so CEI is doing a really good job of using their items and their knowledge of the characters to stay alive, which is very impressive to see. Actually, now that I think about it, Aatrox is the same way. As he heals and does damage, his abilities give him percentage health back. And it looks like he used Flash to try to get away from that fight, and he did manage to escape. Easy Breeze is going to look for a knockup. He's able to charm both of the bot laners, setting up Artanis, once again messing up the name. Still can't respect it, but he's able to get the kill, and it looks like he's trying to get the second one onto this Tahm Kench. Oh, and it looks like they ate the Warwick. Tahm Kench is going to go down to Shakekeeper, setting them even further ahead. Artanis, I said it right that time, is doing a really good job of making sure that his lanes are staying ahead, and they're doing a really good job of snowballing. And as we see, it looks like they're about 5k gold ahead right now, which is a pretty substantial lead this early in the game. They're at 15 minutes.
From someone who understands nothing, it seems like CEI has done nothing but bully Union State.
Sometimes
or Union College.
That is how the tables go. Like, Warwick is a very bully champ. Like, he has fears, he has stuns, and fears, once again, they stun you, they don't allow you to attack. Same thing with stuns and knockups. So they're using their CC, which is crowd control. They're able to use their CC to, once again, just feed their champions and staying ahead. As we see, Warwick has a 400 gold shutdown, Aurelia has a 300 gold shutdown, and Jin has a 500 gold shutdown. So they need to be careful about not giving away these shutdowns, because those are pretty pricey champions. As we say that, Jedi is going in for another kill. He's staying alive. He gets the stacks, and he's able to get another kill. He's on a killing spree.
My goodness.
As we said, there's another fight in the top lane. Fiora used her ult. Miss Engineer's doing a good job by staying on the wall so that Fiora can't refresh her ultimate. Artanis, I almost pronounced it wrong again, but I remember, is able to get the gank and feed Miss Engineer another kill. Jedi Ninja is feeling so confident. He is in the jungle right now, going crazy. Oh my goodness. He just will not give up. He will not give up. He's able to stay in the fight and get a double kill in the jungle just because he was feeling it.
That's an absolute. He seems like he's absolutely bullying the other team.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling this Aurelia pick. They may have banned his Victor, but the Aurelia is just as scary. Easy Breeze looking for a little bit of a 1v1 isn't going to pay off. But still.
Jedi Ninjas seeming to be, at least from what I can tell, kind of the carry for these two games.
Oh yes, I know that Jedi is a very mechanical player. He knows his characters very well, and he's able to perform in every game. He's a very consistent player from what we've seen today.
For those of you just joining, this is CEI versus Union State College. Right now, the game is 1-0 for favor of CEI. Jedi Ninjas coming in clutch for CEI, bullying the other team, not giving any sort of room to breathe, from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, and it looks like CEI is at like a 9,000 gold lead right now, which is a substantial lead.
If you had to guess, how far is this game away from being over?
At the rate Jedi is going, he's doing a really good job. He's not gonna give up. Oh, it looks like he wants to fight. He's trying to bait him in, and he's gonna do a good job of that. He's doing a great job. He's gonna flash in, try to go for the kill. He might give away the shutdown. The ego might have been a little bit too strong right there, but he does get the elimination. Gives up a little bit of a shutdown. He still has a little bit of a gold shutdown right now. But if it were me, I would say like 10 minutes. If it keeps going at this rate, I would say 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes.
This definitely feels very one-sided, which is good to see. We were a little bit worried between the rank difference between the two teams, but it seems CEI is showing off that it doesn't matter what rank you are. We're still going to show up, and we're still going to prove you wrong
Oh yes.
by absolutely dominating in these two games.
Yeah, CEI is doing a really good job of communicating, looking at each other on the map, and making sure that they're doing coordinated plays, which we're not really seeing from the other side. And it looks like we're gonna get an ultimate from our tennis. I
There it
remembered.
is. Yep, there it is.
I'm remembering. I'm giving the name what it deserves, all the honor it deserves. It looks like Shakekeeper's gonna go in and get the kill, trying to get out from this. That's a big ulti from Volibear. But here comes Jedi Ninjas. Let's see if he's able to clutch up. That's a big ultimate. He does get stunned, but he's able to keep the Qs going, keeps his stacks up. He's able to get a double kill, and it looks like he's gonna get a triple. But actually, it might not be a triple because the Jin did take the kill. But that was still very hype, and it looks like Aurelia was shut down. But that was a great performance from CEI, being able to take down the whole team in one fight.
And it already seems like someone in chat is forgiving you for mispronouncing Artanis' name, saying Artanis is the artisan of the jungle. So
Ooh,
he's
let's
allowing it.
go. At least I'm being forgiven. That makes me feel good. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. I've remembered a couple times. And it looks like CEI is trying to set up for an early Baron right now. There is a few wards of it. Oh, it's not a Baron. Sorry, my bad. It is not 20 minutes yet. It is just another Rift Herald.
So if Union College was to make it back from this game, how would they do that? What would they have to get done?
They definitely need to make sure that their waves are being cleared, making sure that the pressure isn't on them, pushing the waves forward, and they need to really focus on one of the players. They need to communicate who they're going to go after so that their stuns and C and crowd control are on one player and they're able to get a shutdown, because if they get one shutdown, that could put them back in this game. And it looks like they're going to get a flash charm coming out from Easy Breeze. They're being able to shut down. Jedi Ninjas is just going to go crazy using his Qs
Absolutely
to dash around the map and get another double kill.
Oh my goodness.
CEI is over 10k gold ahead right now. They have 30 kills to 10. They have 5 towers.
1 second, folks, while the game... There we are. We're back.
All right, there we are. So we're back in it. CEI is doing a really good job of just shutting down the enemy team. It looks like, yep, there's the early Baron. That's what I was looking for. And this could be it if the whole team contests right here, getting a Baron while you're this far ahead, and if the team challenges and loses, this could be game. And Jedi Ninja is going to go over the wall with his ultimate, somehow get back. Oh my goodness, the dash is... He's just going to get a double kill. He's going to keep autoing this Tom Kench because he has the damage and sustain. The Tom Kench is going to get away. And 2 of the members are on Union, are eliminated. And this might be a chance for CEI just to run it down mid and just end the game. Artanis is doing a really good job of using his fear to keep feeding his team. Jedi getting another kill under tower. They're just not giving up anything. There may not be enough minions to take this tower down, but they're going to do it. They might have to back off here. Actually, I could be wrong. Ooh, good shield, keeping Artanis alive. Doing a good job. That was a good Baron steal, making sure that they're able to keep the pressure on Union College. And once again, they are snowballing. They are 14,000 gold ahead, and they are just not letting anything slip.
That is correct. From the chat, Shadekeeper is also quite literally stomping the other team.
It is true. Shadekeeper is 8-0 right now. He has not died. He is quite ahead. I mean, to be fair, the whole team is very far ahead. But Shadekeeper is doing a good job of, once again, that glass cannon roll, staying back behind the tanks, doing high amounts of damage, putting in the work.
CEI just kind of bullying Union College Owls, but they're not going to let the pressure go up. Right now it's 34-10. Am I correct in that? With a that's an unreasonable gold lead right there. Jedi Ninja's already getting another kill.
He did get eaten by the Tom Kench, but that is not going to stop Jedi Ninjas. He's going to get another double kill.
Goodness. And this might be it. This might be the push that we were waiting for.
Yeah, Artanis is doing a good job of making sure that nobody's going to be able to do anything on the map, using his passive on Warwick to hunt down the enemy team. And it looks like this could be in the end of the game if they're able to do it. Jedi Ninjas is staying and keeping the pressure, going for all the kills. Shadekeeper
Holy.
and Jedi Ninjas are able to get the shutdown. And this looks like it's just going to be the end of the game. CEI is just bullying Union College, and they're not letting them do anything. They go for the Volibear instead of ending the game just for that little touch of salt in the wound.
My goodness. That will bring CEI 2-0 over Union College Owls.
That was a really good job from CEI.
That was an absolute steamroll, if I do say so myself. Thank you all for. Anyways, thank you all for coming out and supporting CEI, CEI Varsity's League of Legends team in the NJCAAE League. CEI will take that 2-0 against the Union College Owls. Again, thanks for coming and showing the support. We will have a stream Tuesday for Overwatch and Thursday for Super Smash Bros. And we hope to see you all there. This has been quite the game, quite the bully, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, CEI did a really good job. I'm proud of them. That was a good turnout from the boys today.
Anyways, that is all from us, folks. Again, thank you for coming out, and we will see you guys on Tuesday for the Overwatch stream.
Later.